with all my knowledge and my walk with God and my experience with God, I have come into this realization that if you're the type of a person who always wants to see A, B, C, D, E, F, G all figured out, it will be very difficult for you to walk with God. We just need to come into this truth, into this realization that with God, things unfold gradually. We all want to see the full picture. We all want to see everything figured out. But with God, He gives you A and He tells you that the Z definitely exists, but the journey in the midst of it, He doesn't give it to us. He lets it unfold gradually. And He doesn't do this to frustrate us. He does this so that we can actually live life. God is the author of life, and He knows exactly the excitement He put in life. And definitely this is one of it, that life is meant to be lived day by day. That is where the excitement comes from. That is where the beauty of it comes from. Just take it like this. You're in a place and there's a buffet. Every type of food is put before you. It is very hard for you to actually enjoy every food. But when the food is displayed to you, you get to eat. The meal comes step by step. That is where the excitement comes on. And that is where you can eat and enjoy and get the savor of every meal. Enjoy it truly. When everything is given at once, it loses its excitement. But when it comes on time, you feel it, you value it, and you remain present in it. And that is why He taught us in this prayer, give us this day our daily bread, because there is beauty and excitement in living life daily. It keeps the heart alive. It keeps the journey beautiful. And we see this also in scripture. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, they were right before the fire, okay, right before the king, ready to be put into the furnace because they failed to worship the king. So there wasn't any majestic sound. There wasn't any dramatic sound of God. There wasn't any thunder or anything. There was no visible sign of God, no display of power, just silence. And this is where most people lose Him. This is where most people lose God, in the waiting. They think that God is quiet. They think that God is not really helping them. They think that God is not really there. But it is when we are in the next step, when we are in that particular moment, that's when we experience Him. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, when they were thrown into the furnace, that was when they experienced that surely our faith did not fail us, that surely God is really here. We really love to see things unfolding, like the bees being formed and the seeds being created, but that is not how God usually works. Let us look at the story of Hagar. Hagar was crying. She needed water, her and her son. They were in the desert. There was nothing to hope for. But God, when He appeared to her, gave her a breakthrough. He did not tell Hagar, so I have done a visibility study. In that particular place, there's a great amount of water. So when you dig, just call Ishmael, gather your strength up, dig, and then you'll get water. No, He did not say that. He simply opened the eyes of Hagar and told her, there is the well, get your water, drink it. That was a complete provision. And that is exactly how God works. He gives you the complete provision. We don't have to always see the bee being formed, the seed being formed for us to move and walk towards it. We can simply believe. We can simply trust. He calls us to trust because He knows that the next step is not yet unfold to us. So we walk in the process of trusting, not knowing, but absolutely knowing. So we have to stay in this consciousness that we don't have to always see how God is working in the warehouse. We don't have to always see how God is packing our order, putting our order, but we can always see. Let us stay with expectations, waiting for Him to actually move concerning a certain matter, because He is definitely working, even when we do not see it. And that is exactly how He works. With all my experience for all these years of my life with God, I have seen that every time I try to, Lord, I want to see. Lord, I want to see. That is where the full stress comes in. That is where tension rises. That is where stress comes. That is where I'm like, are you really working? Will you really come for me? And that is where some people lose it all and just walk away. And I pray for me that I never reach in that stage, that I'm like, Lord, I think this is too much. I think I'll just leave you. I pray it never happens for me. I pray I always have the stamina to trust in Him, because He is surely faithful and He will surely come up for my matter and help me out. We should stand in assurance that the one who told us that He will do it, He will definitely do it. because first, he is a faithful God. He never speaks something and let it go on air. What he speaks is what he does. What we have to do is just stand into what he said to us. There's a certain someone I was listening days ago, and the man of God said that prayer is like a means of transportation. With prayer, you reach into your place of the manifestation quickly. So just because he has put the B already there, we need to always pray, because prayer builds our spirit. Prayer keeps us waiting. Prayer keeps us in that mode of, being still and knowing that he is surely working. So in the midst of it, we need to pray. So when you pray, you're like transporting yourself. Every day you pray, you're like transporting yourself to the closer destination of your next step. So yeah, that's it. We will not always see the process, but we have to always have it in our consciousness that God is surely working. We have to trust in him. We have to believe in him. He tells us to trust in him because he knows that we do not know the next step, but surely the next step is there. As we walk towards the B, as we walk towards the C, it is definitely being unfolded before us, and we will definitely see his faithfulness in this land of the living. Yes, stay blessed and let this build your connection with God and your patience with God and your hopefulness with God, because he who started the good work within you will surely not stop until the work is in completion, and that is in the day of Jesus Christ. Be blessed.